10, baby.
Well, we got back just in time to hear scale 10, baby, or something. Let's repeat that.
I'm not gonna drunk. Oh, on the hot scale, I'm a 10, baby.
Now, unfortunately, that did get denied. Oh, no, it did do damage to the boss. I guess it was just a bit delayed. So, Monty Oon throws $10 our way. No message. As always, good to have you with us, sir. And that almost kills Mini Reaper. Spawning in the top left, though, brand new best of 3 still in the losers bracket. We've got the Blue Terran Creature. Nope, Blue Protoss. God damn it. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're in game number 1 of a fresh best of 3. We're in the losers bracket, and in the top left, we have the Blue Protoss Creature.
Maybe it's a shape changer. Creature. Sorry, explain that. In the bottom right is the red Zerg. It is PandaBearMe.
Zerg have the changeling zombie group, you silly goose.
Protoss had replicators once upon a time.
Past tense. Then they got baited. Actually, is this the first time we're catching PandaBearMe today?
Yes, it is.
I kind of sounded British there for a moment.
You did. You're so fancy about PandaBearMe.
PandaBearMe? Quite.
PandaBearU.
PandaBear who? No, PandaBearMe is a fantastic player. Most notably, of course, caught our eye when we saw him. I think it was like Polt was one of the first big names he took on, and has had pretty good North American appearances since then. But at the end of the day, both of these guys are still in the losers bracket, meaning they've lost at some point. So fighting for their second and last lives. Reminder that the winner of this goes on is a pretty streamlined qualifier at this point. Winner of this plays No Regret. Winner of that plays Jon Snow. Oh god. Potential ZVZs here. Creature, please win! And then the winner of that plays Peely Peely at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yep, all the Terrans are gone. Protoss, Peely Peely is still available. Not too surprising. Every region besides Korea, it's kind of been the way it's always been for the last 7 years. Good. No balance mine. Yeah, Creature versus PandaBearMe. First time we're seeing PandaBearMe. Creature looks decent. And he's played against Zerg for most of this tournament, right?
This whole tournament's been like PvZ. Jason was like one of the 2 Terrans, I think, competing today.
Okay, exactly. So I think he's warmed up. I actually don't know at all how these guys compare to each other, so I'm gonna try and take a look.
Why is this copy pasta?
Why is anything a copy pasta?
Oh, I guess it's every time the donation sound goes off. Okay, that makes sense, actually. I didn't read what it said. I just saw all the Ace W. It's like, why?
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect one.
By the way, do you know... I feel so clever. Do you know why I made it Ace W?
No.
Because literally you.
Oh, okay. So, Creature has won every single series they've played to be on Illegal Galactic.
Oh wow! So this should be a one-sided series by the sounds of it.
Yeah, and the what was it? The Peely Peely versus was it Creature?
Yeah.
Match happened. It was also the same stats and same outcome. So it'd be same dealio here.
Well, a Dark Shrine's on the way, and it's gonna be kind of annoying. I like this double-layered wall though. That's kind of cool. So if there was some sort of bust coming, it certainly wouldn't be through the front.
Right. Yeah. And PandaBearMe is not being aggressive. 3 bases, drones, relatively quick overlord speed. Well, not really. Not quick enough. It won't be in time to see the Dark Shrine. So I don't know really what this is for. Overseer's gonna be super fast though, so that's nice. And then +1, that's totally normal nowadays. I think it's the most popular PvZ build available. Does he not know at all that it's a Dark Shrine build? He sees a Robo. But I guess that could have been Adepts too.
I mean, on top of this, it could be a blind guess. There's only so many different builds that come out as an opener for Protoss. Like, you're really looking at like 1 of 3. So even if you're just rolling the dice, it still might be a good guess.
Yes, you're right. I mean, yeah, it's boiled down to either Adept or DT. So the Spore Crawlers do come down. Even if it was only Adepts, the Banelings would be available.
Actually, with that less health, too, Ling's rounds are a lot more effective than they ever used to be. But it's straight to Archons, no DTs, so Lings will be kited, Banelings will be killed, and this, for Creature, if controlled correctly, can actually do so much damage. But this does require, like, absolute perfection with the way you handle your Warp Prism.
Yeah. I did a bad thing. I looked at the clock. It's the worst thing you can do when you start feeling tired, like a sleepover.
Oh,
Once you actually know it's midnight, you're like, oh shit.
I'm the opposite. It's not really tired, it's hungry for me.
Yeah, I'm not tired yet, but I know that we have 2 more series, so I'm like, it's already midnight, shit.
Yeah, don't think about that, man. So, thank you to Hail4 for the GGs and a dagger. Stabs Mini Reaper, who just Twitch Prime subbed, by the way. Thank you for joining us. Base Trade Brigade.
Nice. PandaBearMe went for the
ultimate scouting build.
Yes, yeah. No, I was gonna say, like, there's kind of 2 lair timings, right? There's one that has a lair available for the Dark Shrine build, so you just have an Overseer, no problem. There's one that goes for a later one, and he obviously chose the latter, so it's finally done. He can go in that +2 once he feels comfortable, but
Ooh.
4 Archons.
That's getting to A-move territory, and of course that's going to be met with a Warping of Adepts, Zealots, whatever he wants to pair that up with.
Yeah. Creature really hasn't been warping in too much on the backside, and PandaBearMe, I mean, can freely scout that, but it's like such a weird thing to pay attention to.
There's a lot of transfusion. They're all focusing on the Warp Prism, which would be the escape path for a
nicely
lot of these
done.
Archons. They're starting to pop off, though, and this goes terribly for Creature.
He manages to save 2 Archons and the Warp Prism, though, so what could have been much worse is salvaged, and he goes back home. And, you know, he was macroing back home, too. Pretty well.
Rifkin, you got a license for them guns? Thank you, Duke Nukem, a.k.a. Vagrant Story, a.k.a. my Canadian brother from another mother. 15 months on that resub.
I don't know about a second attack like this. I think if this was combined with Adepts already made, and then you're adding on these big, you know, chunky Archons, beautiful. But another 2 Archons and another attempt to push forward without anything else, like that's... I don't know, now you're really risking losing the Warp Prism and the Archons. But it kind of takes a safer path, so this is less about trying to brute force down Lings and more just getting a cancel on a hatchery. Alrighty then.
I mean, 4 Archons is powerful no matter how you look at it.
4 Archons coming in here.
The problem is, though, and this is what I get worried about, Hydras might actually be able to hold their own here. You'll have the Queens soaking the damage on the front lines, transfusing each other, while the Hydras just sit back and just unload.
Creature, by the way, gets a 4th base at the gold, and is still not really made any more units except Dark Templar Archons. Like, if PandaBearMe had 30 Lings, which, I mean, that is a lot, mind you, but still, if he had any sort of counterattack set up, there's like 2 sentries and an Immortal. The 4th base would obviously be cancelled, you know, just slap that in the face real quick, like, but he's so defensive, because this really looks like something that's going to be included with like 16 charge lots, you know, and you're like, oh shit, like I gotta respond right now, but it's just the Archons, and every other mineral he's gotten has gone into expansion and tech for much later warp-ins of charge lots and adepts and all that. So the Archons just walk home. It's supposed to happen.
No, it shouldn't. I also like, why backstab when you can front stab? I don't know why that's so funny. Yeah!
Alright, well, PandaBearMe was defensive. He still built up quite a strong army with +2 melee and 30 army supply above. But Creature kept most of his Archons alive. Of course, the 2 from the first attack did die. So he has a very, like, chunky army. It's going to be difficult to get the Banelings to get those really nice connections. And his 4th base is already set up with SimCity. But a little bit of a split here. Be difficult.
That kind of looked like a full wall off to me, but it's not on either the left or the right side.
More importantly, the attack of the natural.
Oh,
He's
jeez.
warped and deal with this. He'll lose his probes. But can he hold against the Hydras?
Most of the sentries being used up, and those force fields are gone, but most importantly, guarding shields. Zealots warping in with charge are pretty nice against Hydras, but not when there's this many of them, and even the Archons are starting to fall apart. PandaBearMe is overrunning this base and this base.
The 4th base, I feel, was something that could be eventually cleaned up, but the fact that he had to not only go up a ramp through the choke already made by those rocks, but then that pylon and the other choke that is available on Odyssey, like, all of his Archons filtered in single line, and the charge out warp-ins weren't supported. Now there's enough of them that maybe start cleaning up a couple of Hydras.
But I mean,
so well for PandaBearMe.
Right, he's already traded out well enough with the army. GG's get called, and PandaBearMe takes game number 1. Also, Monty Un, listen to me. I got thrown in jail for this, literally. But you're my kind of player. Who's not in here to win it, but to cause chaos for everybody else. I'll weaken each bit, boss, he says.
Never playing Mafia with you.
Not even Mafia. We played Battlestar Galactica, man, and I got riggedy wrecked.
It's off of Mafia.
So
You were less chaotic in Mafia. You were actually a good Mafia.
Yo, I played Mafia. I got a 100% win record.
Oh, but that's because Mafia is supposed to be chaotic. But if you're village, you're supposed to. Okay, whatever.
Feeling a little bit triggered there, Zombie Crow. Feeling a little bit upset.
I'm so triggered. I'm triggered. Plus, I didn't get a release of playing Mafia over the weekend, so like I'm really all pent up.
Oh, you're blue Mafian is what it is.
Ugh.
No, but like when I like to play games to win, sure. But sometimes it really is fun just to be the chaotic element, the shit disturber, if you will. I thoroughly enjoy taking on that role.
Makes you the worst person. There's some games that do very well with that, and it's everyone's fun in games. And there's other games where it's like you're ruining.
Chaotic neutral, man. It's like that red flag game a little bit, actually. It's like perfect game for me.
What?
Because you get to like try and sabotage everyone else. Like even though you don't have the cards, you can find ways to be like, oh, that's not worth it.
Oh well, sure. Okay, I guess in that regard, sure. Oh boy. First time we're seeing Sequencer today. Pretty sure.
I thought we saw it once early on today, did we not? No, it was right. It was Odyssey. It was the BTSO we saw Sequencer.
Yeah.
Jon Snow feeling, I guess, bummed out right now. Just kind of sitting and chilling. Whispers me out of nowhere. Basically, say sorry for trying to seize up Peely Peely. I just wanted to try and get ladder games for WCS2. It didn't work out. And the thing I whispered it back was like, you do you. Like, if you wanted to... We said this in videos publicly. We stated it during the tournament today, too. Like, folks who want to focus on WCS, please do, right? Like, play those qualifiers out. WCS is the bigger and the better tournament to go to, for sure. But, and then I kind of reminded him, and this is why I'm using it to advertise now, there are 2 wildcard qualifiers that North American players can still compete in. So... let's say hypothetically your creature gets knocked out. There's still 2 other qualifiers you can play in.
Yeah. Wild card is free for everyone. Except, Koreans and Chinese.
Yeah, basically people who have trouble with visas. I mean, that's one of the big red line outlines we put in the thread for this was like, look, I don't really care what region you're from. If getting a visa is going to be impossible for June 16th, then you cannot play. And that's why we had to cut out a lot of the Chinese and the Korean players, because it just wasn't going to be possible if we ran qualifiers over a week and then they've got less than 3 weeks to get a visa. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
NA players, luckily, don't need one. Anyways, we are getting into game number 2, spawning at the top right. Apparently, you said he was the one who had the better win record, right?
Correct.
Surprisingly, down 1-0 in the 0-1 in the series, it's Creature.
In the bottom left is the red Zerg. He is PandaBearMe.
Maybe he felt how bad my intro was for him and it just threw him off.
Yeah, that's what threw him off. You're right. He knew.
He's like, listen to the stream on a delay, totally cheating, whatever. But it's like the fact that I got the intro wrong that tilted him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, he played kind of an odd style. I don't know too much about these players say that was totally normal for him or not, but I know it's not normal for Protoss. There are certain builds that like make the other 2 Archons to try and blitz the 3rd base and a lot of Lings. That wasn't so weird. And there are builds that do the Archon warp-ins with a charge out all in, and that's not so weird. But Creature did kind of like this like middle thing, where he did like both the 2 Archons and another 2, then another 2, but then actually all in with charge lots, he expanded really greedily instead. It was a weird way to play, I think, for PvZ. And I thought he was in an okay position. Like, yeah, he was really greedy. 4 bases, like, a lot of probes. But his army was okay. It just, like, the choke was brutal. The split attack was really well done by PandaBearMe, but just the flipping base, that you take on Odyssey is... well, it can get you.
Well, this map, of course, just to bring it up, since we haven't really seen this go into effect for most of the game so far, does have the weird mineral patch bases that are going to maybe hurt. My concern is creature walling himself in. You're going to be more inclined to take this as your third, and that's one less gas. And Protoss are not exactly a gas light race, especially if you're looking for, Stargate, Robo, etc.
Anything, literally anything.
Except Zealots, I guess.
Yeah, but only charge lots has not been too great historically.
That's going to be interesting too. They're lowering the cost of charge, and it's already pretty freaking good. I'm wondering how big of a difference that gas timing will make to it.
Something we'll see.
Yeah, the patch notes are interesting, guys.
With in our ears. Yeah. Well, so yeah, you probably won't take that in base third just because of those gases and the lack of minerals. There's like multiple reasons not to take that base, but unfortunately, it's not like the other third base is not the easiest one. It's not like so flipping obvious. Why wouldn't you take it? Because it is kind of a dangerous thing to take. You have this open area in the middle, and it's a little bit far away around a bend. Like, it's annoying, but actually, it should be taken.
One thing that's kind of interesting about Sequencer, we've not really seen people take down these rocks. Like, this map it's stayed standard. Like, no one's really terraformed it or tweaked it or tried to run around with it,
There was a super cool game with force fields, and we do have a Protoss here, can terraform it without having to deal with the rocks. And that could be a very important distinction on Sequencer that makes it because the long distance can be troublesome for anyone but not Zerg, and the lack of the fact that you expand these low mineral, low gas bases also kind of hurts when your base is just so expensive. 400 minerals for a Nexus, but then the force fields come in on all these chokes and ramps. Suddenly it looks pretty good again. But you're right. I hate the rocks. The rocks are the reason why the AI derps out so much. Once you get to that middle of the map and you try and move around, it's so bad.
Yeah, they're part of the reason. I mean, part of it's just the StarCraft AI kind of sucks sometimes, straight up. Like, even if there weren't rocks here, you'd still probably see same levels of derping. As it tries to calculate closest distance and whatnot, but... Anyways... Still going.
I was gonna say, for me, it's especially because there are so many different rocks that both block and only partially block, that I can't take into consideration fast enough that I'm near a place that will AI derp. Like other maps, I'll be like, okay, the rocks are here, so be careful where you go. But this map, I'm always like, oh, that's right, there's fully walled off rocks there. Damn it. I screw up.
Well, it's better than, if you guys don't remember just some of the map contest stuff I did, they were doing weird things like putting rocks on top of mineral patches and other things too, so you'd have to actually kill them to mine. It was just... There's been a lot of weird attempts to experiment with minerals and terraforming and all these things. I just kind of... I think I don't mind the odd experimental map. I just kind of wish there was more standard ones in this map pool.
Yeah. It's too much. Too much. But of course, taking his third base, setting it up nice and clean, and there's been no attack or offensive capabilities of PandaBearMe anyways. I mean, he played defensive last game, one part because I think that's the way he wanted to play, but also because his Archons kept on harassing him. And he's kind of doing the same thing here, getting to the 4 bases, Hydralisk Den, but with a mix-up for the Spire. So this is a little bit unrelated. I've just now realized Mini Reaper's been sitting here with 117 health. There you go. Texas is gone. This guy's a big baller from Nate's stream, actually. Texas is gone. I don't know if you understand what you've just bit bossed towards, but like I say, there's a lot of thieves and scoundrels lying in wait with daggers ready to stab you at the end of stream here, because the end of bit boss reward for today's stream is a ticket to BlizzCon. One single ticket. Someone earlier was asking if it was a pair. It's one single ticket to BlizzCon. So this is something that we purchased specifically for this sort of giveaway. It's, I guess, battle more than a giveaway at this point, but 100 health. Texas is gone. Current bit boss. And of course, sorry, I'll finish that up really quick. On Twitter, BaseTradeTV's Twitter, twitter.com/BaseTradeTV, we actually have recently reposted the, outline of today's battle. So if you want to really look it up and see what the details are, go there. Sorry, go on. Not hallucinated Phoenix, but a real one, but totally worth its death if it manages to scout the Spire, which it does. So, gonna continue building into that Spire, or against the Spire with a couple more Phoenixes. He doesn't have Blink, and doesn't have any Stalkers. Now warping some in, realizing he needs some, at least initially.
I actually really like Storm for this a lot. There's a lot of Lings on the map that are going to be an issue, and whether you're going for Phoenix, Stalkers, Immortals, doesn't matter. The fact is, if you get surrounded by Lings, you're going to have a bad time, and then you won't be able to maneuver to deal with said mutas. So, wash the Lings off, use everything else to kill the mutas, and I think Creature will be fine.
It's a delicate dance with those mutas trying to get in every little corner that you're not able to get to. It's very annoying. And Sequencer also has this large portion of a base that you don't want to take because there's no minerals and no gas. Not this one, the other one, but also that one. That they can try and fly out and disengage from.
Yeah, I forgot that base over there also has the lower minerals and the one gas. We just never see anyone ever take it. But Phoenixes are dancing them best they can. Well, they should have won this fight without a question in Perfect Micro World against Mutas, as we see here, starting to go well at the end. He still lost one of his Phoenixes. A little bit scary initially.
Yeah. But dealing with those Mutas very effectively. Like, PandaBearMe is not going more into Mutas, so that was really it. And they're already so low, and only 4 of them, not really going to do a whole lot. So that's nice. He doesn't have to worry about them anymore. The thing is, if they survive and come back later, and even his number as low as 8, but still decent, that's a lot of probes dead. Or banelings. Or just banelings.
SpaghettiOs! He pulls the probes into the banelings!
He's trapped?
That couldn't have gone worse! 30 probes died! Oh my god! That went so well for PandaBearMe!
It did. It did. So that's, oh god,
well,
that's a bad creature.
That wasn't even like newbie saturated. Like, he was oversaturated because he was ready to transfer to the new base he just built. Like, that was the best possible timing to get those banelings in there. Yeah. And that PandaBearMe is in a pretty dandy spot.
There's like this really cool thing that Neeb did once that can backfire for sure, but like his main base was walled except for one little spot that he could specifically pull the probes away from a baneling drop, and I was like, oh my god. It could backfire. That could just be the way the banelings get in, sure, but that would have helped. Like, poor probes are like, they can't go that way. Oh, Jesus. That puts him in a very difficult position because he has 4 bases. He has 4 nexus. The 4th nexus is already done. So you lose 30 probes. Your army is still big. You dealt with the mutas. You don't really want to just all-in counterattack because there is a chance to macro out of it and just defend. But it doesn't. It puts him, like, his momentum's really gone now. Any momentum that he was gaining from taking care of the mutas or building up his army is gone.
I feel like the other problem with this is PandaBearMe's maxed out, right? On a good army. This isn't like you made a bunch of roaches, it's inflated
Holy
supply.
Shit.
Like, it's a phenomenal army, it's got decent upgrades, and he's moving towards Hive behind this.
Yeah, the Broodlord's gonna be really problematic, because creature, that like, those 30 probes could probably afford, Stargates and Tempest.
Oh, if he shuts some +3 weapons too, that'll be real nice. He's gonna kill Blink, so hey, suddenly that air is even better than it was moments ago. +3 shut down as well.
No.
Templar all gone to the Banelings. So much, so much for that past win record. Oh my god. GG.
Jeez.
PandaBearMe will take the series 2-0, slaying creature and knock him out of the loser's bracket. But this also now means we're going to have 2 ZVZs guaranteed in a row into a ZVP finals. So, some of you are going to love that matchup, some of you won't. I'm letting you know what you're in store for. I personally am a big fan of ZVZ right now, and I think with No Regret playing the way he is, it could be pretty interesting. But either way, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be back soon. Here's the Bit Boss screen for the new folks. We've done 2 casts today. I'm falling apart now. Here's the Bit Boss screen for those who didn't see it earlier. TLDR, if you've cheered the most bits today overall, which is currently the 47th still without a doubt, this prize will be yours no matter what. So you can win 2 prizes today, BlizzCon ticket and this. Or, alternatively, if, say, Texas is gone, is the Bit Boss at the end of the day, 47th will win the Risk Board as a second place prize. But the BlizzCon ticket, I think, is the one everyone's looking for because, A, it's coming from a reputable source here on BaseTradeTV, so you're not getting scammed, you're not getting phished, you're not getting scammed. I think I said scammed twice. But that's because we're really not scamming you. And you know you're going to get a ticket from us. Specifically from me. But anyways, we'll see who the Bit Boss is. I really imagine that last best of 3 today, we're going to have like a lot of last second stabs. I hope to see it at least. At any rate, we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll get the series up. Thank you for watching so far. It's been a long and a fun cast. We got a little bit more to go. We'll see you soon.